Theater in LA rocks.
Well, that ain't well. Leave!
I'm Stephen Blackburn. I'm the writer of The Rock of Abandon. I can't even remember exactly how I came up with the idea for The Rock of Abandon, but I think it was because I do a lot of random history. And at the time, this is in the 90s, I was reading about ancient Greece, and I was also watching both the CAD Mysteries on PBS and Inspector Morse. CAD File was a detective set in the 1200s, so that sort of opened up the idea that, oh, you could have a detective story that wasn't in modern times. One of the things that attracted me to the story of Euripides being a detective was that I was reading about him in relation to the Peloponnesian War, which was this 30-year war that Athens fought with Sparta. It seemed like having peace, but it was really considered all one long war. And Euripides was originally for it, and then he was against it, as kind of like the way people were, people like my dad who were for the Vietnam War initially, and then realized it was a terrible mistake. I think I went with a noir style to The Rock of Abandon because I've always been a big fan of noir movies, and like in the United States, noir really, I think, hit its peak after World War II. And even though it was to be a good time in the United States because the war was over and people were back home and making money and stuff, a lot of guys came back who were very disillusioned, and kind of the world wasn't the same for them. So I felt like that was kind of the way Athens was for some people like Euripides, who felt like the democracy was not working the way it should. I put first words on paper for The Rock of Abandon in 1995 when I was a James Michener Fellow, and writing it as a screenplay, and I won top honors in the Fade In Magazine Screenwriting and Fiction Contest in 2000. I have spent a number of years workshopping The Rock of Abandon at Fierce Backbone Theater Company, which has been tremendously helpful in not just, initially I needed to workshop it because I was translating the story from the screen to the stage, and they're different. The stories have to be told in different ways for movies and for stage, and I needed help in figuring out how to do that, and workshopping it in a theater company was a perfect way to do that. Well, what ended up happening was the story actually became better as well because I had so much feedback from various quarters, both actors and writers and directors. You can shoot a movie if you want to for a lot less money than in the olden days. But to do a production of a theater piece is, there are so many small theaters in LA, so many actors that want to act, that want to be on stage or in the movies, that it's really, I think, theater is a more accessible way of getting your story out there. Theater in LA rocks.